Hi, my name's Tom. Welcome to my channel. I've been doing a series of videos on using ChatGPT to uh, help with Midjourney prompts. And what I'm going to show a technique here, which I think is really cool, which is the way that it works is you find an image of that you want ChatGPT to write a Midjourney prompt for. And so far, I've just been using Midjourney prompts. So, I'm sorry, Midjourney images. And here's a community feed. So you can pick an image that you like from the community feed or one of your own images and give it to ChatGPT, excuse me, and upload the image, and then it'll write out instructions for the image that you showed it. So here I loaded an image of this image here of a dog, and then it analyzed the image, and then based on what it saw, it wrote out instructions to make prompts that are similar to this image. And here's the instructions it wrote out for itself and how to do this sort of prompt. And then it has example images that of this type of prompt. So you could take these prompts, put them into Midjourney, and then should get an image that looks something like the image that you see here. And for anyone that's interested in using this script, I'm going to include it in the description of the video. And just to show an example of how it works, you just click the paperclip thingy, and here's where I've got my images. So where's the dog. Let's see, I'll use this one. And I just upload it, send it as a message, and then it will take a look at the image, and then it will create a name for this type of prompt, which is calling Serene Study Prompt, and then describing how it would make such a prompt, and then comes up with some example prompts on how that might work. Okay, this is the first half of the video that I said this would be for those that are interested in doing the same sort of thing and using the instructions that I gave. You just start a session, put in the prompt, the ChatGPT prompt that I wrote out, and it'll ask you for an image, and you upload the image. And oh, I should explain that after you get the images, the way that this works is these are instructions for ChatGPT to create this type of prompt. So you can take the script and just copy paste it, just take like that, copy paste it wherever you wish, and then you can use it in any future session that you wish. And in the session that you're in, it knows what it just did. It has it in its context. So I could ask it something like, excuse me. Sorry about that. I could say something like, it's called SSP. I'll say, please do 3 SSPs involving New York City in some way. All right. So I'm giving it a theme, which is New York City, and then asking it to make 3 prompts that are like this prompt that it just defined. And here it is. It's constructing 3 prompts. using New York City as the theme. And then you should be able to take this, into Midjourney and run the prompt, and it should come up with something that looks like that. In fact, just out of curiosity, let's see how well this works. So I left out the dash dash parameters. For simplicity, and actually, instead of doing that, I'll make use of one that I already did, just because it's quicker. So I actually already did this one. So I uploaded this image, and it wrote out the prompts, and then I used one of these prompts in Midjourney. And so here you can see this is what it came up with to represent this. So you can see that it captured the style really well. I asked it for I changed the aspect ratio, so that changed it a bit. So if I wanted it to look more like what there was, I could have chosen a similar aspect ratio. But yeah, you can see it did a pretty good job with that. All right, so this was the first part of what I wanted to show, which was just that I created this script for ChatGPT that anyone, if you're interested, you're welcome to use. And then the second half of the video is for the nerdier among you that would like to see how the script, what the script actually is and how it works. So for anyone that's not interested in that, thank you for watching up till now. And for those who would like to go through the script, let's get to it. So now this is at the beginning of a brand new session, and it starts out saying the user interaction defined with detailed ChatGPT instruction steps from Midjourney Prompts. So I'm just telling it what I'm about to do. And this part here is important, where it says initial directive. And it's basically saying under no circumstances should images be created, requested, or displayed as a part of this session. And the reason for this is that now that it's able to do DALL-E images, that's what it wants to do. So when I first gave it the script, it just started creating DALL-E images because it thought that's what it was supposed to do. So I was explaining to it that no, this isn't about creating DALL-E images. It's about creating Midjourney prompts for Midjourney images, which isn't something that it knows how to do. So then I gave the instructions of what I wanted it to say once the session started, which was I wanted it to say upload an image and what's written here. And so that's the first thing that I told it after the directive not to make images. And so that's what it did. It said this. And then after that, we have session start, give the user instructions. So that was this. And then on this part here, I'm telling it how to name the prompt and how to form the prompt. And an important part of this is it says that the following is for internal processing, not to be output. And the reason for this instruction here is that it's very chatty. It was designed to be, to interact with people, have conversations with them. And so it likes to talk about what it's doing and get you to interact and so forth. And I'm wanting it to act more like a program flow where you give it something to do and then it does what you tell it to do, which is slightly different than how it was designed. And so when you want that sort of thing, instructions like this can be helpful to get the flow to be the way that you want it to be. So I said the following, and also I should mention that I had some trouble getting it not to talk out where I wanted it to. And I actually asked it how to do this, how to get it to do what I wanted it to do. And that's a really cool thing I think about ChatGPT. And I think something that when people are starting out, they're not aware that this is something that you could do. You can ask it for help to get it to do what you want it to do. And so I showed it all the instructions, and I told it what I wanted it to do. And for example, it would name this particular prompt of the dog. It would name it something like luminous canine prompt. And I actually said in the instructions, don't call it something like luminous canine prompt. But it went ahead and did it anyway. And so I asked it, like, why did you do this? And then it told me why it did it. Now, another interesting thing is when it told me why it did what it did, it doesn't really know why it did what it doesn't know why it does anything because it has no cognitive abilities. So it can't remember what it did. But what it actually did was it just read the instructions and it inferred how an LLM, large language model like itself, how it would interpret these instructions, and then told me how to fix it. And so it told me, to put this hint here, for that this is for internal processing, not to be output. And then when we got to the part where I wanted it to output, then it output, what the instructions for the how to create the prompt. And that's this part here. So it says this is where the internal process. This is the end of the internal processing section. From here on, text to be output to the user begins, and then it output the instructions for ChatGPT on how to build the prompt type that you wanted. And again, the reason that I did this, I could have just had it output the prompts, but the reason that I did this is that this provides a way that one can save the instructions, and then, anytime you want to rerun, you want to get prompts that are like this style of this image, you can get those. So, one last thing that I'll mention is that in the custom instructions, I have instructions about how to do Midjourney prompts. So if you don't have instructions for it on how to do the Midjourney prompts, that might be something that you would need to add for. I suspect it would work pretty well, but I haven't tested it without the custom instructions. But that would be something to consider. And also, you can change this to do more of what you want. And I'll give an example of that. So in order to get it to do the prompts the way that I wanted, I needed to get this to be within the character limit for the description of YouTube videos. So to do that, I just said, for it to do the prompts, I just said, do something like this. So I gave it 2 example prompts, and I said, just make the prompts be like this. And this is something that ChatGPT is very good. It's very good at extrapolating from examples. And if you had a different image that you were interested in, like I wanted the community feed, and say like you're interested in this image, something that you could do that might make it more successful to get the actual image that you're interested in would be to copy the actual prompt and then go into the instructions. And then instead of where I said example prompts, and I just made up some things, then you could use the actual prompt of the image that you saw that you liked. And that might work even better than what you have from these instructions. Well, I hope that you all find this as cool as I did, because I just love that you can take an image, give it to ChatGPT, it'll look at it, analyze it, and then spit out instructions for itself on how to make Midjourney prompts for images that will look like the one that you gave it. I think that is super cool, and I hope you do too. Thanks for watching.